他们是一群前线英雄，而你可以用一个小举动来报答他们，就是完成2020年人口普查。这些数据可以帮助社区规划，并分配资金给全国各地的医院、诊所和紧急服务。准确计算可以帮助公共卫生局确认所需资源，以保护我们的社区。立即上2020 Census.gov 填好问卷，开展我们的未来。即刻上2020 Census.gov/languages 回复人口普查。
This segment is brought to you by Asian Cultural Alliance.
Falsified education credentials are nothing new in the political realm. 2 weeks ago, Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike's degree from Cairo University came under fire. Suspicions surrounding Koike's degree have been around since 2016. However, her political career took off in recent years, allowing her to suppress information. This is similar to how Tsai Ing-wen is able to control the rhetoric around her own thesis. Famous Japanese writer Kuroki Ryo spent 2 years traveling to Egypt to investigate Governor Koike's degree. Kuroki recorded his findings detailing how Governor Koike's degree was faked. This June, Kuroki published an article in JB Press asking why the governor was unwilling to publicize her degree. This case of academic dishonesty in Japan has garnered international attention. As the situation developed, one media outlet in Japan conducted an interview with a school official from Cairo University. He said there was no doubt that Governor Koike graduated from Cairo University in October 1976. He added that Japan's larger media establishments no longer reported on the matter because the school issued an official response. The official went on to lament how the scandal negatively affected the school's reputation. However, one Tokyo city councilor refused to let the issue go. He raised Kuroki's article during a city council meeting and demanded answers from the governor. When Japan's scandal first unfolded, Governor Koike insisted that she graduated at the top of her class at Cairo University. She never read Kuroki's work, nor could she corroborate anything he said. Governor Koike said that Cairo University did not require a thesis to graduate. However, Kuroki went to Cairo University's sociology department on September 17, 2018. There, he interacted with a professor Governor Koike said graduated with her from Cairo University in 1976. The professor said that students at the school's sociology department indeed had to complete a thesis in order to graduate. The case of Governor Koike's missing thesis opened the floodgates. However, both sides of the argument have strong cases to make. School statements, damaged reputations, and arcane methods are all common excuses that we find in Taiwan's own thesis controversy involving President Tsai Ing-wen. However, if we take a closer look at Tsai and Koike, we can see that they have one pivotal difference. Firstly, when a city councilor challenged Governor Koike on her degree, she immediately personally refuted every concern that surfaced around her degree. She explained the school's policy on theses at the time. Governor Koike left all other matters of investigation up to the school and the public to divulge. Throughout the entire process, Koike was confident and powerful. On the other hand, Tsai was evasive when the public first raised suspicions about her thesis in June of 2019. She stayed away from the media and relied on her army of netizens to publicize publicize images of a replacement diploma she obtained in 2015. Tsai focused on creating her black leather-bound book and getting it into the women's library at LSE. After that, she manipulated public opinion. On July 10, 2019, she showed her reissued diploma from 2015 to a group of young people. However, she refused to make that diploma open to the public. On September 4, 2019, the presidential office announced on Tsai's behalf that she was suing Dr. Huan Lin of UNC Charlotte's Belk College of Business and Professor He Defen from National Taiwan University. It wasn't until September 19, 2019, 3 months after the thesis controversy took flight, that Tsai would finally respond to media questions about her degree. 4 days later, on September 23rd, the presidential office held a pointless press conference that offered no answers. Finally, on October 8th, the presidential office offered a statement LSE released on its website as official proof of Tsai's education. However, the only thing these press conferences did was expose the identities of 5 people involved in a thesis smuggling incident in 2011. The inconsistencies and loopholes inadvertently revealed during these meetings only drew more attention and suspicion to Tsai's thesis and her degree. Both Tsai and Koike's credentials have come under scrutiny for the past 5 years. The primary difference is how either person faces their accusers. If Tsai's first reaction was to act strongly and confident like Koike to address each matter in person and diligently, then the public would have done the rest of the work for her. Someone with Tsai's level of education should be fearless and not clandestine and secretive. Such demeanor only draws more suspicion. Unlike Japan, there's only one politician in Taiwan that dares to dive deep into this controversy and uphold the core values of democracy. Mainstream media outlets stray away from this cover-up, which rivals Watergate in severity for fear of retribution. Taiwan's Fourth Estate, investigative journalism outlets which are responsible for bringing injustices to light, have been bought by the establishment. We at EPM have the exclusive story of how Taiwan's presidential office pulled off this amazing feat. In reality, political powers have constantly interfered with our investigation into the current thesis controversy. In 2011, LSE refused to accept a thesis presented by then Democratic Progressive Party chair Tsai Ing-wen. However, in 2015, former LSE director and member of the House of Lords, Lord Anthony Giddens, provided Tsai with a LSE diploma. One can't help but think that the University of London is now complicit in this thesis ruse.
皆さんこんにちは。郷原信夫の
Unlike Governor Koike, who let the people of Japan freely discuss her degree, Tsai and her entourage have been covert and stealthy. They're working in the shadows to change history. Let's take a look at everything they're doing to get what they want. The first thing Tsai's entourage did was redirect suspicion from her thesis to her diploma. Tsai obtained a diploma from Giddens in 2015, so that was something tangible she could show to the public. A thesis from 1984, on the other hand, would be near impossible to produce if she didn't already have one. On June 10, 2018, Tsai employed loyal media outlets, professors, and legislators to publicize images of her 2015 replacement diploma online. The purpose of this was to direct attention toward her diploma and not her thesis. She would then insist that the existence of a degree proves the existence of a thesis. This offensive was a success. On January 15, 2020, a court case alleging that Tsai's thesis didn't exist, brought forth by former director of National Taiwan University's Graduate Institute of Journalism, Dr. Dennis Peng, was dismissed. A student who possesses a proper diploma can rely on the argument that the existence of a degree validates the existence of a thesis. However, if someone tries to use the same argument using a diploma obtained through unconventional means, then there is definitely room for doubt.
我想现在有很多人也都没有否认有论文这件事情嘛，不是吗？
In the past 2 episodes, we established that the Ministry of Education, the National Central Library, and the Office of the President vouched for Tsai's fake thesis. A thesis produced in 2019 cannot change the reality that a proper thesis did not exist in 1984. Even more outrageous is Tsai's claim that 3 University of London libraries lost her original 1984 thesis. It's probably not unusual for a thesis that was submitted 36 years ago to disappear. I think a student wouldn't need to concern themselves with the whereabouts of their work 36 years after the fact. However, all of our viewers know that the University of London's Senate House Library clearly said they never received a copy of Tsai's thesis from an external examiner. University policy very clearly states that if a student does not provide the school with a complete edition of their thesis, then the student will not receive a degree. The presidential office's claims that these institutions lost Tsai's thesis are lies. Furthermore, if the school indeed lost a student's thesis, then LSE should be held responsible. Why then did Tsai and her entourage rush to send the school her personal copy in 2019?
除非是真的，也有证书证明啊。那论文一定是有的，而且口试通过也一定是有的，要不然我不会有博士证书嘛啊。那这件事情经过 LSE 的这个学校的这个整个的行政程序，最后给我在1984年的博士证书，就是一个总结了嘛。那我在后来在台湾申请教职的时候，我也提供了所有的文件啊，来让我们的这个教育单位来审查啊。那这个审查的过程，我相信连国民党的副主席郝龙斌都承认说，这个审查过程是很严谨的一个审查过程，那么也通过了这个审查的过程。那我在这个整个过程当中啊，都符合了我们当时的要求，也取得了证书，也取得了我们的教职啊。那35年前的事情啊，我们就应该要信任说，所有的主管机关在那个当下都是很尽责的，不能够在这个时候去污蔑这个 LSE 的行政当局，或者是来挑战我们教育部的审查的过程。35年前的教育部绝对不是民进党的教育部，更不会是蔡英文的教育部嘛，不是吗？
ThesisGate will ultimately boil down to a battle of legality. It will be a battle of hard evidence. Even though Tsai's argument that the KMT would not have done the DPP any favors 35 years ago, we must point out that the DPP did not exist back then. Back then, the government blacklisted anyone who did not agree with them. Tsai, however, was able to study abroad, showing compliance with the KMT. Her pleas for people to trust the Ministry of Education 35 years ago shows how close she was with the KMT administration back then.
主管机关在那个当下都是很尽责的，不能够在这个时候去污蔑这个 LSE 的行政当局，或者是来挑战我们教育部的审查的过程。
Tsai often tells stories of her experiences in Taiwan as a way to suggest she obtained a degree from the United Kingdom. That's because Tsai's entourage knows that they cannot change the realities of the past. They can only do their best to spin Tsai's history and her relationships in Taiwan to make them consistent with her lies. When asked about documents from 1984, Tsai's team could only produce a photocopy of a diploma that was of questionable quality. 4 other documents that were shown lacked signatures from any school official, meaning they couldn't have been legal documents. The press conference should have ended here had everything been solid and consistent. But how could the public trust a stack of photocopies? With no other choice, Tsai had to take back control in the latter half of this press conference. She fell back on documents and endorsements from both the Ministry of Education and the Central Election Commission. After receiving her degree, the president was subject to many authentication processes by National Tsai University, the Ministry of Education, and the Central Election Commission. All three are very stringent, so there shouldn't be a problem with her degree. However, could authentications from the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs be trusted? Or have those two organizations already become complicit in Tsai's ruse? Head of the Ministry of Education's Department of Higher Education, Zhu Junzang, has been a person of interest throughout this thesis controversy. On July 19, 2019, the Education Ministry classified documents relevant to Tsai's career as a college professor and sealed them away for 30 years. On the same day, Zhu came out and publicly supported Tsai's black leather-bound thesis. This seemingly coincidental move shows the extent to which Tsai has infiltrated the government. When searching online government archives, our team discovered a 10-page document dating back to September 20th, 1985, which contained information on the verification of Tsai's credentials. This document was supposedly part of the classified materials. Dr. Dennis Pang immediately applied for copies of the document through public channels. On December 18, 2019, he received 3 pages from that document, pages 6, 8, and 10.
我们是要揭露几份这个莱尔。
This document should have been sealed away until December 31st, 2049. Why is it that some portions of the classified documents are still made available? Is it possible that only some documents were made classified? If so, why so much secrecy? What unthinkable truths are hiding in the hidden documents? The 6th page of the uncovered document revealed that the Education Ministry actually asked Taiwan's representative office in Britain to authenticate Tsai's diploma twice, once on December 28, 1984, and again on August 21, 1985. According to the presidential office, Tsai had already been teaching at National Tsai University for over a year by this time. Why hadn't her degree been certified by then? When asked about this discrepancy, the Education Ministry responded on December 28, 2019, by releasing the 3rd page of the uncovered document. But how could they freely access a document that's meant to be sealed away?
怎么又不给看了呢？不过，各位，我给你打包票，经过我们这么一讲之后，明天呢我把它补起来，然后再过2天呢会丢出来说，在这里，你看，就在这里，那一群人。
Page 3 directed us to another document that said the government established Tsai's doctoral credentials on July 10, 1984. The Education Ministry released that document on January 8, 2020, 3 days before Taiwan's presidential election. But there was another problem. The document the Education Ministry released 3 days before the election didn't have any of the usual stamps that government documents usually have. It was a handwritten document that didn't indicate who handled or processed the case. Furthermore, on July 10, 1984, Tsai hadn't been hired by NCCU yet, so why was there a need for this document?
今天讨论的主题是蔡英文先生有关于他教授的情形。那我先说明一下，他是聘任，不是升等。那在这种情况之下，也就是说，政大是从民国73年的8月1号，聘任蔡英文先生为本校的副教授。那当时是适用旧制，因此并没有讲师这样的证书这样的一个说法，那是直接聘任为副教授的，这是第一个。 那第二个，容许我就具体的事实状态跟所具有的一些相关的材料呢，来跟大家做说明。就是因为它是属于先聘后审，这个东西并不是政大的规范，是整个当时教育部在聘任教授的一个程序啊。那因此在先聘的时候是在民国73年8月的时候呢，就加以聘任了。那但是聘任完以后呢，聘任的时候呢，就需要选一些相关的程序。那当然也包括要把所有的材料呢检送给教育部，那教育部呢再送外审。
Interestingly, the 10-page document does not contain a certification of authenticity for Tsai's diploma. For that, we need to go to the document that the Education Ministry released 3 days before the election. However, that document can't be found in the government's online archive. Another thing we'd like to ask is why the Ministry of Education is so selective about what it reveals and when it reveals it. If everything the ministry releases is conclusive evidence, then why didn't they release everything at once? What did the ministry do with the time between releasing new information? The most unbelievable thing is that when we delve deeper into the government's archive, we can find another document from October 22nd, 1987. This document is a request for more information on Tsai's degree from LSE. What was going on at the Ministry of Education? That request would be the fourth time the Taiwanese representative office in the UK would be asked to authenticate Tsai's degree. The only document that has any certification of Tsai's degree is the one the Education Ministry released 3 days before the presidential elections. But that document doesn't exist in the government database. It only exists in the press release published by the Department of Higher Education on January 8, 2020. The president then dedicated her career to public service. In 2010, Tsai participated in the new Taipei City mayoral election. She applied for a replacement diploma and even had Taiwan's representative office in London authenticated. That diploma was sent to the Central Election Commission. President Tsai did not need to submit another diploma to participate in the 2012 elections because the Election Commission already had it. In 2015, false information surrounding President Tsai's education began to surface, so we applied for another replacement diploma along with supplemental materials to prove the legitimacy of her degree. When she registered for the 2016 election, she did not need to submit her diploma. Tsai's team constantly reiterates that Tsai ran for public office multiple times and that in order to do so, her credentials would have been reviewed thoroughly more than once. But in reality, when we look back on Tsai's election records, we see that she only needed to hand over her degree once. That was back in 2010 when she ran for New Taipei City Mayor. The next year, in 2011, the Central Election Commission passed a new policy that no longer required prior candidates to submit their diplomas again. Tsai's one-time submission to the Central Election Commission was done with a replacement diploma. We have yet to see any original documentation. Tsai doesn't even know when she lost her first diploma. The CEC ended up accepting the replacement Tsai submitted. This replacement had a stamp from Tsai that claimed it was the same as the original. Taiwan's representative office in London approved the statement with an authentication stamp of its own. However, when compared to other authentications done by Taiwan's representative office in London, Tsai's authentication is vastly different. Her authentication doesn't have a serial number, nor does it have an emblem seal. Most people need to wait 2 weeks to get an authentication processed by Taiwan's representative offices abroad. Tsai only needed to wait 3 days. It's almost as if LSE and the Taipei representative office in the UK didn't need any time to process. Everyone just dropped what they were doing to assist Tsai. Coincidentally, the one time Tsai ever got an authentication for a diploma was in September 2010. The person overseeing the representative office in London then was Catherine Chang, one of the 5 members on Tsai's team when the smuggling incident of 2011 took place. Why is it that the presidential office kept referring back to the Education Ministry and Election Commission's authentications? Firstly, when Tsai unveiled her signatureless documents, supposedly from 1984, she lost all legal standing. She may as well have admitted to forgery. Secondly, Tsai's influence is vast. It has reached into the Ministry of Education and the Central Election Commission. So long as people like Catherine Chang and Zhu Junzang are willing to cooperate, then Tsai can falsify as much evidence as she wants. Had the Ministry of Education been honest from the start, then there would be no need for it to selectively publicize documents. There would be no need to lock away important evidence until 2049. At this point, the thesis controversy has entailed too many false documents and faked memos. Next episode, we will reveal the lengths the establishment will go to silence its critics. We will also share how Tsai utilizes the law to punish thesis truth seekers, including her own former instructor.
This segment was brought to you by Asian Cultural Alliance.
他们是一群前线英雄，而你可以用一个小举动来报答他们，就是完成2020年人口普查。这些数据可以帮助社区规划，并分配资金给全国各地的医院、诊所和紧急服务。准确计算可以帮助公共卫生局确认所需资源，以保护我们的社区。立即上2020 Census.gov 填好问卷，开展我们的未来。即刻上2020 Census.gov/languages 回复人口普查。很快就可以跟朋友再聚，还有家庭聚会、游行、体育盛事和音乐会。为了帮助社区在重回正轨的时候准备就绪，请立即回复2020年人口普查。现在上网花几分钟的时间，即可影响到医疗保健、公共设施和教育在未来10年的发展。立即上2020 Census.gov 填好问卷，让美国有更美好的明天。事不宜迟，展开未来。即刻上2020 Census.gov/languages 回复人口普查。